Ooh. Mike P. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's happening, Mike P? Can you hear me? It's where the multiverse becomes one song with no exception. It is, it was, and is to be experienced. Tia Smith, what's going on? Trill Cash, what up? What up with it? OG Bruce Lee, what's it? What's good? Blue Lotus to the foe. What's going on? What's up, man? Everybody click the like button real fast. Come on, thumbs up so we can alert everybody. It's coming over to the party. We'll have a quick little party real fast. Crack open a bottle of wine or something. I actually need a different flavor in my mouth. What up? What up? What up? What up? Everybody come on in. Come on in. Because this question comes from Caleb the Great. I was like, you know what, man? I can do that topic real fast. Was the universe God? And if the universe is God, what created the universe? Ooh, Mike P, when you coming, man? When you coming for a weekend, man? So we can get in the studio and lock in for 2 days. That's all I ask, Mike P. Come on, man. You can lock in for 2 days. Vivian, what's happening? What's up? So I guess I'll do a little intro on another topic. Give people some time to get in. Would you say 2 days tough? So man, anyway, man, yesterday I hope y'all had a good full moon in Aquarius, you know. It was it's out there right now, but it was just a good time last night. I was able to connect for a short period. And really just go with the flow. It wasn't necessarily a hard projection of an idea and thought. It was more or less of sometimes ignorance is bliss. Submitting and rolling with the flow to a degree. Rolling with the flow into my life. You know what I mean? As it pertains to transformation and this, which is the same thing as transmutation as well. Finances as well. And so I did do a little small visualization that we utilize in the membership. And so I did that and just was really just becoming one. I was able actually to I took the crystals that y'all saw yesterday. I took those with me and put them in the river and was able to let those charge up. Let that current, strong current too. So strong that if I would have took my hand or my foot off of it, it would have went down the river strong. So I was able to charge them up, just to get that current under that energy. And for me, I'm only taking my energies out pretty much once a year. You know what I mean? As far as my crystals go, um, I was given a download yesterday about the next full moon coming up, which is going to be in Pisces, which is the water sign, which is the ultimate level of subconscious, super conscious. We can call it spiritual / psychic ability. This is my favorite moon. Michael Jackson had this moon. This is by far my favorite placement with the moon, which is going to be the next full moon coming up. And I'll look on my calendar here to see when that is. And if y'all seen the webinar that me and Jew did on Catholic miracles, we was talking about Lourdes, France, and these miracles of Saint Bernadette and this water coming out of the grotto there, known to create miracles, literally broken bones fused back together. That's unheard of. That can't happen. People who's was blind in eyes and washed their eyes with the water could see again. Like, this is real stuff. If you type in miracles from Lourdes, like, there's 70 classified medical miracles, because this place was so popping with miracles that they end up forming their own medical establishment to study this phenomenon. And so there's 70 recorded miracles and over 7,000 events that have happened that are really miracle, but wasn't necessarily deemed miracles by this medical bureau standard, in a sense. Check it out. It's phenomenal work. And I think the challenge is, honestly, is I ordered some water from Lourdes, so it should be arriving any day, straight from the grotto. And for 3 days leading up to the full moon. So let me pull that up real fast. Hold on, y'all. Let me go pull that up. So 3 days leading up to the Pisces full moon, I want the day of the full moon to actually be the last day of the 3-day fast. Me personally, I'm going on a 3-day liquid fast. I may say fruit and nothing but the healing waters from Lord. And that full moon is going to come in on, where you at? On the 10th, September the 10th, which is a Saturday. All right. In fact, let me do something real fast. Let me pull up my lunation chart to get the preciseness of that. And let me go find that report. Where is that? It's in PDFs. Boom, boom, boom. Man, that's gonna come in early in the morning at 5:00 in the morning. On the 10th. At 5:00 in the morning. So that's more of a West Coast. That's gonna be more of a West Coast full moon. That day. Cause see, at 5:00 in the morning on the East Coast, in the morning, at 5:00 in the morning, the sun is not even up yet, and the sun is about to come up. So then when the sun goes down and set, the moon to be over there in the west portion. But that's cool. And so the 10th, so going backwards from the 10th, we use September 10th as day 3, the last day. And so, yeah, I'm going to be on the fast. Thursday, the 8th, Friday, the 9th, Saturday, the 10th, and could break it, that Saturday night, in a sense, when you see the full moon in the western portion of the sky, or in that sense, probably be more of the south portion of the sky. But anyway, a 3-day fast, when I get the bottles in and stuff, I would alert you, man. But if you want to take that journey Let's ride. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Oh, that's what's up, Trail Cash. You got the moon in Pisces. That moon there is spiritual, man. That dreams be off the hook, the intuition be off the hook. It's just a really nice placement. So 3-day liquid fast, or I'm sorry, fruit fast for me, and going with the nothing but the only liquid I'm consuming is that water from Lord's. So you can get it if you type it up. It's gonna come from the Catholic Church, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. You know what I mean? 3 days, man. So I can't wait to get the feeling. I'm probably gonna cheat a little bit and take some of that Neptune droppers that I showed y'all, because I got some light from Neptune, and take the dropper and drop it into that water as well, and just see what happens and whatnot. All right. All right. All right, man. So let's get into something real fast, man. Everybody that's in here, click the like button for me, please. That's in the building. I actually want to kind of monitor this algorithm thing and see. But everybody get the likes up for me. Just make it match the room. I need to cut on the air a little bit. All right. I had got some new pieces too. I got this new piece, pink tourmaline. It's really kind of pretty. It's just like a little nugget, but check it out. Check out pink tourmaline. It's a real pretty piece. I personally think it's pink kyanite. It don't look like tourmaline to me. You know what I mean? But check it out. It's dope. Yeah, Blue Lotus, we can do it. We absolutely can do it. Let me see. Pisces for me is my 10th house. What degree is that going to be in? That full moon is going to come in at 17 degrees Pisces. And see, remember, that means the sun is going to be in Virgo because it's September the 10th. And I started to get some lazuli, man. The sun's in Virgo, the moon is in Pisces. And that means Virgo is the energy that deals with health. You see what I'm saying? Pisces is the energy that deals with hospitals. You know what I mean? So they go hand in hand. So it's a perfect time really to get into really watching your health and doing something that is of a benefit, because Virgo rules the intestines. Usually this was a time of year where I would go get a colonics done. And a colonics is when you have water irrigation going into your intestines, and then a gas bubble will form and you just poop everything out. You know what I'm saying? And they do that a few times, what they would call close-ended. So you can actually see your feces go through a tube and then go into this machine. You know what I'm saying? And I would do a colonics when it's Virgo season, because Virgo rules the intestines. And that's what I mean by being in rhythm with the cosmic clock, cosmic man, cosmic woman. Like Sunday, we're going to do a webinar, but that's going to be more on some business stuff that we do in our membership. But then every month we also get into a practice dealing with the visualization and the activation of a particular body system in accordance to the solar clock that we own. You know what I'm saying? There we go. So come on, man, keep getting the likes up. Make it match for me, please. And so it deals with, it's going to be a good time to really deal with health. Now, I know some people may be adverse to, I ain't letting nobody stick nothing up my butt. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. But I know firsthand, I had an aunt, was by far my favorite auntie. On my mom's side, my favorite aunt, died of colon cancer when I was in high school. Yes, absolutely direct from Lord's. And I seen what colon cancer does firsthand. Colon cancer literally, like this ain't figuratively, literally will eat your ass, because that's what the colon is, inside out. It will eat you to your death. Colon cancer ain't nothing to play with. So if I gotta just hunker down and go for a tube insertion, you understand, to get some water irrigation to get all the fecal matter that's stuck. You gotta really think about it though, right? I don't want to be gross or nothing, but for poop to pass through anything that's physical, to pass through anything, you know what I'm saying, with no lubrication, is going to leave smear marks. So there's so much fecal matter that's built up. That's why a lot of us is fat, like me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us we are fat because we still full of shit, basically. You know what I'm saying? There's so much fecal matter that's in the intestines that's just clung to the walls that's there, that you go get a colonics done and watch what happens. You'll be amazed at how much you're going to be just flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing. And then you go sit down on the toilet afterwards, and they usually have you have a stool for your feet so your knees can kind of be elevated, putting pressure on the lower abdomen and the intestines, and then it start flowing out again. But it's a good time to cleanse. So you need the water, hence full moon in Pisces. You need the water for irrigation. Just look at a toilet. You got to have water for the stuff to go down. Without that, it's just going, it ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? And so it's an excellent time to really get into your health. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So let's hey, peace. What's happening, Katush? What's going on? All right. So let's get into this conversation, man. So the young genius mom sent me a text, and the question was, is the universe God? And if the universe is God, what created the universe? Oh man. So is the universe God? Yes and no at the same time. Okay. And so how can that be? Why do you say yes? Well, because everything that is God's creation is only animated with the intelligence of God. If we're going to look at God in a subjective way, in the sense of it's an individual that created everything, and then everything is made up of something else that makes it what it is. You understand what I'm saying? And so the universe is God's creation. Therefore, it is a resemblance of God. It is not the creator per se, if we're looking at God as an individual being, right? But it is the condition in which things exist. So the intelligence, because nothing can come into creation if we're under the same understanding that God is all wise, all knowing, all seeing, and is the creator of every single thing. So that's going to be my definition of God. Okay. And so to be able to create something, if it's outside of God, meaning it ain't God's creation, then that totally blows the idea of what God is, because everything can only be in existence due to God. Therefore, everything is an expression, an intelligent an expression of the great grand creator. Okay. So now, yes, we are the universe ourselves. Hence, you're told in the scriptures, the Bible, that the kingdom of God is within you. Now, you may interpret that as being, well, that just means doing right things and you're going to go to heaven, because if you do the right things, and make the right decisions because it's in you, then you get to heaven. Okay. But then they also come back around and tell you, well, don't you know that Jesus Christ is in you? Now they telling you that, it ain't no physical man, Jesus, that's inside of you. So now what they talking about? Oh, well, now they talking about what they will call the spirit. Very interesting, because spirit has always been synonymous with something that is invisible that animates the physical. And so anytime, you heard me say this, anytime that you see Prince Nakeem, what up? Anytime that you see anything physical, there's always going to be something. I don't care what you observe, and it could be an electron with a microscope. Then you're going to look inside of that electron, and you're going to probably find out something else that's there. Maybe you're going to call it a quark, right? You're going to find some other things that you're going to start naming, but you're never going to find the actual intelligence that make it function per se. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like the human being needs air. Air is invisible, right? Okay. Now, since air is invisible, but we have a way to measure what air is, then we can say, oh, this is nothing but oxygen. And oxygen has 8 electrons. And, oh, okay. But now the oxygen itself is now made up of something. And here we go again. Now, when you look at the atom itself, the atom is made up of various parts, right? And you won't see it. And I'm going to tell you the most beautifulest thing, in my opinion, in, out of the animal kingdom and just anything far as that's living. But let's just deal with animals. By far, I'm going to tell you God's dopest creation that totally shows you that you would never find it. You'll never find it. You'll never find God, but it's right there in front of you at all times because it's within everything. Hence, Jesus Christ is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. So it's talking about consciousness, okay? The rainbow jellyfish are the jellyfish that are translucent, not the ones that look like mushrooms. Like I'm talking about the translucent ones, especially the rainbow jelly. Because here it is. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone real fast. Because here it is. You can see through it, and you can't see no eyes. You can't see no nose. You don't see no ears. You don't see no penis. You don't see no vagina. You don't see what's making it function. But yet you see an object and you see straight through it. The dopest thing ever, man. Ever by far. And there's some pretty cool things out here. Like the clownfish. The clownfish is funny as a mug, man. Did you know that the clownfish, hold on. Did you know that the clownfish, like Nemo, um, the alpha male, when the female dies, the alpha male turns into a female. Real story. The alpha male turns into a female. That's crazy. So all the females are former males. K Money, what up? Look at this. What's messing with this? That's a rainbow jellyfish. Now you got to really pay attention to this because see, that is God right there. Like as far as the mirror, the amazing, you know what I mean? Because even within that, where's his eyes? And now you see light, but you don't see the function within the light. You understand what I'm saying? And so this is why when I say you'd never find it, because every time you zoom in with a microscope and think you found it, there's going to be something else that's invisible that's making that which you just observe visible. So the ancient schools taught you that when you come into these mysteries, the symbol was a serpent biting its tail in a circle, because the circle is what we would call infinity. It never stops. Okay. You'll be chasing this thing forever, trying to pinpoint the one thing and say, I got you. Because the moment I'm telling you that you get to heaven and you see what you think is God, I guarantee you it's going to be made up of something that you're not seeing. And so now that means that invisible substance, God is dependent upon that, which now blows the idea away from what God is. And so you got to have a mystical understanding of the Bible to get it, or you have to go into a different school of thought in the Western schools to understand, maybe like the Hermetic science, like we talked about quickly yesterday. right? Which will deal with um the mind. All is mental, right? See, shout out to Jew in the chat. See, he just said, I have placed eternity in the mind of man. Wow. I have placed eternity in the mind of man. That's in the Bible. And then you have a school of thought that said, hey, all is mental. So now you at the core, you're dealing with consciousness. At the core, that's what you're dealing with. And it's going to forever be invisible. Forever. And I mean ever. Forever be invisible. So then you would hear the sayings like, it just is. Right? And so is the universe God? No, because the universe in of itself is not I would say that's tough, man. Again, it's yes and no, right? It has actions which allows things to take place. So if you say universe, that's every single thing in creation. That's how I see universe. I don't believe in there's a million universes. Uni means one. I'm talking about the one thing in which every single thing in existence, the million universes exist in. That's my definition of a universe. This one God, this one source, not the multiple verses. There's different galaxies, but a universe is with is is the universe contains every single thing that you can fathom and say this is in existence. Okay. And so now that has conditions, and it may be like Earth in a sense where you can say, oh, well, it's the springtime. These things about to start blooming and things like that. And then the universe is laying the foundation in the sense far as the environment goes. But here's the question. Where did the universe get its intelligence from to be on this particular rhythm in the sense that gets its initial programming from? Now we go back to consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So it's a yes and no. And I'm fine with a flat out yes, because we understand that the universe is just the mind of God. That's what it is. The universe is the mind of God. How can it not be when God's the creator of it all? That's what we're going to say. So if God is the creator of it all, then we're looking at the mind of God. And it's very interesting because now you can start to measure the mind of God. The mind of God is tick-tocking all day long, like we talked about yesterday for a quick second. This thing has a rhythm. It has cycles. You see what I'm saying? And now you can pinpoint, and now you can forecast. Once you understand you can pinpoint, you should be able to forecast. You see what I'm saying? And now that gives you the ability to be a great steward or the chief of creation in the sense. So we say we're the chief of creation. You know what I mean? Because this octopus can lose a limb and grow it right back, and human beings ain't doing that. You know what I mean? we can we can't even grow a third pair of teeth. Once the second pair come in, you're finished. Okay, it's starfish and things in the ocean that is still tapped into the immortal aspect of themselves. All right, which namely is supposed to be like your medulla oblongata, the known as the reptilian brain. I was having this conversation with myself, right? Exactly, Tia, the heartbeat. We talked about that yesterday, the TikTok. I was having this conversation with myself because I have conversations with myself. And the conversation was how we as human beings are so ignorant. Before we can give definitive answers, I think we have to marvel at our deep level of ignorance. And this is what I mean. Most people can't even name one thing inside of their brain. Just one thing. Name one thing inside of your brain. right? That's deep that you can't name some things in your brain. I never forget, man. I never forget. Some things just stick with you. I never forget. So at a lecture, brother said, if you don't know how your brain operates, then what makes you think you in control of your mind? And I said, God damn, got me with that one. I gotta bow down to that one. Whoa. If you don't even know how your brain operates, how can you say for certain that you are in control of your mind? Mind and brain are not the same thing. Brain is a facilitator of mind. Okay? You can open up the brain, you won't find mind, but you will find some things inside of there that facilitates thought. Okay? And so we don't know what's in the brain. So that ultimately means we don't know ourselves. Not even just in the brain. We don't even know. We man, listen. There's one side of your heart that receives what's called deoxygenated blood that's full of carbon, basically. And then there's another side of your heart that receives fresh, rich, oxygen rich type of blood. And then it goes out through your body. So one side of your body on the heart side is taking in the toxic carbon. And then the other side of the heart is bringing in fresh, rich oxygen. Facts. There's a part of your heart that generates the electrical pulse to get you going. That thing ain't just on all of the heart. There's a particular region where that is at. What side is it on? We don't know. Now take that where you don't even know self, and then sit out here and you don't even know where you at in space and time. That some of us can't even tell basic cardinal directions, in a sense, let alone draw a calendar out and say, this is where we're at right now. Again, if I draw the 12 zodiac signs in the circle and tell you to show me where we at right now in space and time based off these signs right here, not months, these signs, you'd be lost. You'd be lost in the sauce loss. That's how ignorant we are, right? And so for me, for me, this is my date night. This is how I date. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly what up. This is how I date. You know what I mean? I'm trying to dispel my own self ignorance. I get it. I need to enjoy some things. Fine. I get it. But when I get fixated on something, I just get fixated on something. I got something to do here that's major and that's more important to me, because your days are numbered and you come back. But I'm telling you something, man. I'm telling you something. Kevin Samuels should prove to you. That shit should prove to you. The death of Kevin Samuels should prove to you that me and Jew call it this. When them niggas on the other side that you call angels and gods, they don't play fair. And when they call you on in, Kevin Samuels thought he was just starting. You couldn't tell him nothing. He thought he was just starting. He did not know that his mission was done, which created a catalyst of dialogue to take place between the genders, mainly between intellect, fact, and logic, and emotion, and trying to find what that bridge is. And the only way you bridge this and this at the midpoint is right here. Okay? It's right there through the expression. Okay? Which I told you last time also deals with your immunity. Thyroid deals with your immunity. Okay? And so you don't know. You don't know. You know what I mean? Now we can look at some things, and there's always factors. and some things, you know what I'm saying? Of, possibilities always there and whatnot, but you don't know. And so you gotta be on your shit, because they may be like, you hit critical mass, meaning you hit that critical point in your life that, especially if you are anyone that has some type of eyes on you, an influencer, entrepreneur, man, you don't know. You don't know. Seriously. Because the passing, as you can see, whether it be Nipsey Hussle, whether it be whatever, the music starts to go out the roof, right? So your death is a catalyst to create something. You know what I'm saying? For those of us that's in a certain light. So you got to be real serious and studious about this thing. You know what I mean? For real, for real. Okay. And so anyway, back to the subject at hand. This thing ain't hard, y'all. It really ain't hard. God is thought. Where do thought come from? That's what it is. And when I say thought, we're talking about the consciousness, the intelligence that resides within every single thing. In the discussion, that's just what it really is. That's what it is. That's why so much reference to, righteous thinking and wisdom and knowledge and understanding and, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about the principles of the mind. That's what it is. Okay? Listen, man. I'm so glad. I really like this I really like this youth generation, because they ain't falling for the okey doke of a tree and a snake talking. Like, there's something to it here. What are we really talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's where it's at. Is cracking the mysteries and getting to the understanding of what these things are really absolutely talking about at the core. It's not hard. You know what I mean? It's really not hard. You're gonna need some tools though. Okay, to decipher the Bible. If a Jew got a new thing coming out called "Your Pastor Don't Know Shit." Okay, subtitle, what is it? Real Bible study. Your pastor don't know shit. There lies the problem, though, and that's just real. There lies the problem. You big grown man and talking about and believing that Jonah was in the mouth of a fish. And they don't even say whale, they really just say fish. Okay, in the mouth of a fish. Like, really, dude? Like, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? And so we don't have that understanding, and that creates a serious mental dissonance when we don't have that understanding. But we believe, and belief is all you really need. You don't necessarily have to believe the story, but believe that it is something, that this invisible conscious that animates you and I, that replenishes us. Like, we cut our skin, it's gonna grow back. Yeah, I didn't tell the mold to grow. Like, it's some invisible stuff that's going there. Some of these things I'm like, how dare you? I didn't ask you to grow right here, but why are you growing here? It's an invisible intelligence that's taking place. Okay. So we just gotta simply know, how to get into this thing. So if you're gonna deal with the Bible, you're going to need a strong concordance. You're going to need that without a shadow of a doubt. You're going to need that, because, as we said before, you know, one word represents several different meanings. And so the person who found the Bible in Hebrew, he may pick one of the meanings that he just thought honestly made sense. But another translation, like if you go to Bible Gateway and you read King James Version versus God's Word translation, these different translations, why are they saying different things in a sense? But these things are they're synonymous, right? And God saw that it was good. And the other one said God imagined that it was good, right? And one may say seek knowledge, the other one may say seek wisdom. You see what I'm saying? Another one may say seek information. You see what I'm saying? The other one may say seek education. So these words are synonymous, right? And so you have to look at that for yourself, because there'd be some other words in there, such as, the potter's house. But potter means imagination. So what if it was the imagination house? Like, that's totally different. You sitting up here pottery, and let's just say, pottery comes from your imagination. You get to shape and form it and whatnot. And so it's like pottery, your thoughts, it's like clay. And then, your goal is to shape it into it hardens and materialize, right? So that's synonymous. Pottery is in or potter is synonymous with imagination through this process of wet clay. All right, cool. We're gonna call this the potter's house. So you sitting up here thinking, like you in Egypt, like it's Kunum at the wheel building man from mud type of stuff, right? And that's what you're thinking. But if somebody told you like, welcome to Imagination House, you get that instantly, like, oh yeah, 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 imagination, my ideas. Oh yeah, yeah. Bam, you already in there. You see what I'm saying? And so to get the key to the Bible, you're going to have to get a strong concordance, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to. Okay. And there's some beautiful, 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 beautiful ways that you can just look at it and see what it is and be like, oh no. Like, for example, I remember I was redoing Genesis, right? It starts off in Hebrew. The very first word is Bereshith, right? Which means in the beginning or beginning, right? And the first letter is a B, but in Hebrew, like, how in English we say A, B, C, D, and we just spell it with the one letter. A is A. It ain't A with little A's. It ain't B, E, E. That's like a bumblebee. It's just B, right? Well, in Hebrew, a letter is actually a word, like Beth. So the first letter in Bereshith is the letter Beth. And Beth means house, like Bethlehem, the house of, or, house of peace and all that good stuff, um, and so, or Bethel, the house of God and stuff like that. So Beth means house, but Beth also means like a house you go in. So it's in the beginning. But Beth also means vagina. Okay. I said, hey, that's interesting. That in Hebrew, house and vagina are the same word, literally the same word. So I'm like, yo, what if this thing could have read, because it reads Bereshith bara Elohim, in the beginning, God. Okay. What if it read in vagina created God? Because it could read that way. Literally, if you break it down, I've done this study and broke it down. I got to go find some of my notes in the garage, but it could literally be translated as in vagina created God. Because what a coincidence, anyway, Genesis, the first part of Genesis, when you get to human beings, the Adam and Eve story, Eden means sexual pleasure. The whole thing was about them coming into a knowledge of sexual organs. Oh, we're naked. Who told you you're naked? The woman told me you're naked. I was naked. You gave her to me, right? He flat out ratted on her and shit. And who told you was naked? The serpent said I was naked. Okay, well, y'all messed up now. Very interesting, because in that chapter, he walks away. God said? God said, the man has become like one of us, seeing things. What do you mean? Wait, first of all, who you talking to? Man, nobody ever pondered that question. Who you talking to, man? You know what I'm saying? You having a conversation. What do you mean, like one of us? Us? That's plural. See, again, when you understand in the beginning God. In Hebrew, that's Elohim, and that's plural. So that's not one person. Let's understand that. The God in Genesis, the first God, that's not a singular being. That is plural. How do you know? Because at the end of Adam and Eve coming into the knowledge that they're naked, God said, the man has become like one of us. Okay? That's there. I'm not making it up. That's there. Okay? So this thing was a love story about, really, it wasn't even a love story. That's not a love story. That was base level nigga attraction. If I put the hood terms to it, it's base level toxic bullshit relationships is what Adam and Eve represent. Okay. And then there's other stories that evolve. All right. They come back in different form. All right. As highly evolved spiritual beings when you go to different stories. Okay. And so now that we can see that, just looking at again, you can look at the translation and be like, wow, you could have actually said in the beginning, vagina created God, or in the beginning, God created vagina. You know what I'm saying? Because Hebrew is kind of backwards. It'd literally say, like, if you read it literal, it would sound like in beginning, God. No, in beginning created God. But in English, we kind of fix it and say, well, in the beginning, God created. So they talk kind of, for lack of, I don't want to make fun of nobody because I got this anyway. If you read Hebrew literally, it to the English mind is dyslexic. Okay, it's dyslexic. Okay, all right. And so anyway, I ain't gonna stay long, man. I just really wanted to come on real fast, man, and answer the question that was sent to me. You know what I mean? Is God the universe? And if so, who created? If God's if the universe is God, then who created the universe? You see what I'm saying? God, and God, because it's an intelligence. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's an intelligence. And trust me, the hierarchy of, I'm just gonna call it for what it is. The Catholic boys know what's up. The regular, the Baptist church is they ain't got nothing but some good music and dancing and show. That's a concert. As far as information goes, I haven't seen it, and I'm not looking, but I haven't seen it. So, who is the second God that created Adam and Eve? Good question. Well, you're gonna make me pull up my notes. That is still, well, it can only be other. You got Elohim, and then you're gonna start to see the conversation switch to Lord God, which is gonna be Jehovah Elohim. Okay. So I'm working on something. Let me see if I can pull that file up. So what I call that one? Let me see. All right. So I'm working on something to show you the beauty about this is just a love song. All right. Bop, 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 bop. And also remember, God said, let us make man in our image. He didn't say, I'm gonna make man in my image. He said us make man in our. So this is plural stuff. Okay. So God created man in his image. It's very interesting, man. We don't pay attention. We do not pay attention to some stuff. All right. And so here it is. All right. So this was day 7. On day 7, it opens up with, well, I'm gonna go to verse 4. All right. So I'm on day 7. In day 7, it said, these are the generations of the heaven and earth when they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and heavens. This is the first time you get the word Lord. Now, I got a note here because this is Jehovah. Lord means Jehovah, or what we call Yahweh as well. Okay, so this is Yahweh's first appearance right here. And Yahweh is going to be the what I call the inductor of duality. Okay. He's going to be the literally he's going to be the one that's going to deal with duality. Because as you get into day 7, okay, day 7 is all about man and woman and just some stuff that's just dealing with duality. All right. Um Again, Eden means paradise and sexual pleasure. The garden actually translates to mean zoo, and also means kindergarten too. You know what I mean? But again, what's happening is the zoo is animalistic behavior. Hence, a serpent is in the story. So we call this the lower animal passions of our behavior. Okay, that we go through. All right. And the reason I say that Jehovah is the inductor of the into duality is because he's the one that creates the environment of these two trees of good and evil. Okay, so it's talking about a dual force, right? And so again, you may say that um well, the devil is the devil. And you ask anybody, is God the devil? They slap the crap out you. What are you talking about, God the devil? No. Like that's like philosophically, that don't make sense. God created the devil, man. Like, can we have a real life conversation? You know what I'm saying? What's up, beautiful Phoenix Sundance? If God created everybody, then this nigga created the damn devil. Like, stop playing with me. See, this is why I like the younger generation. Like them old baby boomers in them, like I got a vendetta against them. I know I got a chip on my shoulder against baby boomers because I think they by far were absolutely the most ignorant group of people mentally. Like they didn't give you no game. I didn't get no game from them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so hey, they ruffle my feathers. I almost lost my train of thought dealing with them. I did lose my train of thought dealing with them, man. And so, where was I at, man? We dealing with Jehovah. This, what was it? The duality. Let me see something here. Well, I got some heat on this thing. I do. I got some heat on this one. Psh. Let me look. Yeah, I can't even share that particular stuff. Man, I'm gonna let that come later. But anyway, if somebody can help me find my train of thought, that'd be greatly appreciated. Um, but anyway, man, I just like the younger generation, man, because this thing ain't it ain't hard. You know what I mean? Once we put it together, you know what I'm saying? Once we just put it together, like oh, that's where I was. The damn God created the devil. You know what I mean? Like cut it out. Let's just have real conversation. He did too, because he all wise, all knowing, and he created everything. To say that the devil exists without God creating him means that God ain't God. Because how can something come in existence without God? You understand what I'm saying? But see, what do the Catholic boys tell you? And they tell you that, oh, wait a minute, this dude was rolling in the heavens and he was actually an angel that turned rogue. That's very interesting. So now I gotta ask a question. And so did God know that this dude was gonna turn rogue? Because God is all wise and all knowing and know everything. Well, yeah, he knew he was gonna turn rogue because he gave people free will. Really. So you had a foreknowledge that this dude was going to do this, right? Right? Even better, I keep telling, I'll take you to the book of Job. In the book of Job, they say that, hey man, the servants of God and Satan came into God's presence. That's what it say. And God said, Devil, my nigga, where you been? That's what he said. Devil, my nigga, where you been? Okay? He didn't say, there goes Satan. I got him. I'm going to rid the earth of Satan forever because I finally caught him. He said, where have you been? Well, I thought you was also all wise and all knowing. You don't know where this nigga been? Or you just want to see if he gonna tell the truth for himself? Is it something that he got to go through for himself? Because then we start to get into it like, oh, okay. Because then that story later starts to progress. Very interesting that God literally conspired with the devil. God told the devil, I mean, you see my servant Job? Do everything to him, but don't kill him. Fuck him up, steal his cattle, put boils on his skin, kill his animals, do everything, but don't kill him. And the devil's like, man, I tell you what, nigga, if you don't protect him, I bet he gonna curse you to your face. And God said, oh, no, it's cool. Just don't kill him. Do what you gonna do. That's called conspiracy, man. I don't care what you tell me. You lying. It is called conspiracy. But again, before we even get into the conspiracy, why are you having conversation with the devil, nigga? Like, man, listen, man. If there is and I'm not saying that, listen, if God materialized as this one being, I got a conversation to have. See, I'm not afraid to ask. I know I believe so much I will wrestle this nigga. I always tell you, listen, man, get on the other side, and there's some niggas like you call it the Anunnaki, and these niggas is pushing buttons and they laughing at us down here on Earth going through all this shit. We gotta fight. We can be cool and dap it up afterwards. I appreciate it. I made it to the other side. But nigga, you just could have pulled up in the UFO and came up out the clouds and said, hey, I'm God. Everybody chill the fuck out. And this is what y'all gonna do. Or I'm gonna wipe out this whole thing and humanity is gonna get itself back together because the whole world seen you come out the sky. So what you hiding for? I want to shoot a fair one if I gotta catch you on that side. Okay? Like, we got to get real serious about this thing, right? Let's cut the crap. So anyway, they'll tell you that he was rolling with God at one point in time. And then some stories that say, well, he's actually the twin brother of the Archangel Michael. And this is why Michael is the one that is putting the spear into the serpent or killing the fallen angel Lucifer and whatnot, right? All right, cool, whatever. You still had a foreknowledge of what this was going to be about. But most importantly, there's a scripture. I got the prime minister in here. There's a scripture that says, I create good and I create evil. I, God, do all of these things. Look it up. Look it up yourself. Now, if I go poll people and say, hey, did God create the devil? They're going to say no, which is defeats the purpose of God. You don't know what you're talking about. Then if I say, do God create evil? They're going to say, no, the devil creates evil. And yet they think they believe in the book. See, that's why the book got to come. Your pastor don't know shit. For real, for real. It's just time to call it straight. Pastor don't know shit. The book flat out tells you, and that's like, you ain't even got to transliterate nothing. This is like figuratively, like just flat out say it. I create good. I create evil. I, God, do all of these things. So you busy blaming the devil, and it's really God. Oh, now it makes sense. Go back to the book of Job. So the devil thrashing this dude. And Job's wife was like, hey, whatever you do, you better not cuss God out. And Job said, you sound like a foolish woman. You sound stupid. Should I just thank God for him giving me the good things and not the bad? And then they immediately said, after all that Job has said, he done nothing wrong. So Job told his wife, why would I do that, stupid? The bad is God, not just the good. That's God. Hence the other scripture, I, God, I create good, I create evil, I, God, create all these things. And now God having this conversation with the devil. Job didn't fall for the trick of duality. Oh, now that takes you back to the book of Genesis, to the tree of good and evil. See, when you ate of the tree of good and evil, it had nothing to do with you eating a damn piece of fruit. It's your perception of duality. And then you would have it real bad, because then it turned all the way into black man is God. No, the black woman is God. How you think you got here? Every person came out of a vagina, as if every vagina didn't get skeeted and nutted and spermed into, right? But as if every sperm didn't come out of a vagina. That vagina again. So again, it goes back to this loop that goes, which one is it, the chicken or the egg? Hello, silly. It don't even matter, because at the core, what you're really saying is the man, if he did come first, has a secret hidden woman inside of him. And if the woman came first, you have a secret hidden man inside of you. So what do it even matter? Because again, it goes back to an invisible part that you don't see that's riding with you. And that's how this place is. So the moment that you get stuck playing the game of duality and picking a side per se, you miss the whole thing. You totally missed it. Ain't no devil. It's all one. Hence, I always say the Chinese got it when they had the yin and yang symbol. They like, oh no, see that beautiful two forces, those two actually make up the one. Duh, man and woman makes child. The two make one. The two make one. The two is one. So now this child comes and we know, oh, your mom and your dad, right? So the two is the one. Hence, when you understand mathematics, two is the only even prime number in creation. Because to be a prime number, you can only be divisible by its number, which is going to be in the number one, which is the same thing, right? You understand prime numbers? Like one is only divisible by one. One times one is one. Two is only divisible by itself in the number one, right? Two times one is two. Two divided by itself is one, right? So three, can you do that with four? Four? No, you can't. Because one times four is four. Two times two is four. It can only be divisible by itself, a factor of itself in the number one. That's it. That's what make it Optimus Prime. So five is prime. Times what equals five? One times five, that's it. Or five times one, that's it. Same thing. That's it. What about six? Well, you can get one times six, two times three, three times two, six times one, right? So your even numbers ain't gonna never happen because they're divisible by two. So they'd never be a prime. Only the number two is the only even prime number in all of numbers. Because the two is really one. That's the understanding of that whole thing. The two. Create the one. That's what it is. You got it? All right, man. So anything in the chat, man? We wrap this thing up, man. I'm about to try some vegan pumpkin cheesecake. I'm trying me. Hey, man, I'm telling you, I don't care what nobody tell me. That's God. That right there, that is the best creation of the mysteries of the creator, the rainbow jellyfish. Okay? All right. You know what I mean? All right. So any questions? We wrap this thing up, and I gotta put my plant back on this stand. We good? So remember, man, I probably gonna make a video, man. We're gonna do this 3-day. We're gonna do a 3-day. I'm doing a 3-day fruit and liquid fast on the water from Lords. I'm gonna time it with the Pisces full moon. That Pisces full moon is gonna come in on Saturday the 10th. So 3-day fruit and nothing but water from Lords for me, dealing with the 8th of September, the 9th of September, and the 10th of September, that full moon day and whatnot. And get like a full good solid 72 hours and nothing but that light water. You know what I mean? For real, for real. All right. So just be on the lookout for that, man. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Anybody got anything? Make sure, let me scroll the chat. Make sure we straight. You know what I mean? You know? So what's going on? Oh yeah, Job got fed up and cursed the day he was born, which is an interesting. What's up? Let's go. Which is an interesting concept because see, look, Jude put something in the chat and said Job cursed the day that he was born, and he did, because I also see that story is talking about an astrological thing. You understand what I'm saying? These boys was deep. It'd be layers on layers on layers. So the book talks about physiology, how you say it, the physical makeup of the human goddamn body. All right. Then it talks about cosmic phenomenon, and then talk about states of consciousness, right? And then it can give you, in some states, geographical references, okay, which is the least important. And so Job had 3 daughters and 7 sons, and each son had a festival and a feast for one day out of the week. I said, oh, I know what you're doing. You're dealing with planetary bodies when you do that. Like today is Friday, the day of Venus. Tomorrow, Saturday, the day of Saturn. Then Sunday, the day of the sun, is after that. Then Monday, which is Moon Day, right? And so the reason that the 7 sons were going into the daughters' houses, because the 3 daughters are symbolic for the 3 mother letters in Hebrew. There are 3 letters in Hebrew that we call the mother letters, okay? And they're symbolic for 3 elements. Shin is fire, Aleph is air, right? And Meme is water. So you may say, well, where's the 4th one? Where's earth? It's you. Because what did the book tell you? You were made up from what? From the earth. From what's called Adam. Okay? You're made up from the earth. And so now you are that 4th principle, that 4th element on earth. That's you. And so now the 7 planets known as the 7 suns have to go visit the elements, because the planetary energies are composed of the elements. That's why I keep telling you, when you get into this work, and when I invite, like, I'm going to do personal sessions, like I said, no more than 3 people can come stay at a time, like, to really get into it for a weekend. Like, I'm not necessarily concerned about the sign per se. It's more about the energy, because these 3, which is really 4, but these energies boil down to a base expression, and that base expression is going to help you do what you do best. You understand? Is to get that energy to move. All right. And so the cursing of the birthday, and that's the same book. That's the same book that be having some. Ain't that book got some Pleiades stuff in it and some star references to it? You know what I'm saying? And it's another book, I think Amos 5 and 8, to start getting to, that, God is the maker of the bear in Orion. You know what I'm saying? You start talking about star constellations. Why? What's the importance of it? You know what I mean? For what? right? All right. All right. Y'all cool? Y'all good? We good in the chat? We good in the chat? I've been seeing sevens and threes like crazy, man. Give me some 777s in the chat, man. Let's get some jackpot energy going on. But let me know y'all good, man. Just put some sevens in there for me. Oh, I thought it was, but I ain't know it was looking kind of weird. They be all on the witchamajigger too. Put user in timeout. I think I put the user in timeout. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just ordered your water, Tia. That's what's up. Appreciate you. Prince Nakeem, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Get your water from Lords, man. And let's go on a 3-day. You know what I mean? Let's all go on a quick little 3-day little nice spiritual journey. All fruits, you know what I'm saying? Just to electrify the mind, get the energy flowing, the vitality up, and then see what comes up for you, especially if you got any type of we may put some type of prayer together as well, but especially if you got any kind of ailment, you know what I mean, going on and whatnot. It's just gonna be a nice time to really tap in and whatnot. So look into it, man. Water from Lords. I think it's all direct from Lords or something like that. But you can order it direct, man, and get into this zone. All right. All right, man. I'm gonna try one more slice of vegan pizza over there, some cheesecake, and we'll call it a night. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I'll see y'all later. All right. Peace.